Ladies and gentlemen, I'll invite you to rise and join me in welcoming the class of 2020 and their Year 4 student cloakers. Normally we'd have music to the procession coming in. Unfortunately, as you can see, our symphony is a little thin today, but please welcome the class of 2020 and their cloakers. Welcome, class of 2020 and fourth year cloakers. Please have your seats. It's a little different entry without the usual ensemble music playing, but we will continue forward. Good afternoon, everyone, invited dignitaries, faculty and staff, parents, loved ones, fellow students, fourth year cloakers, and of course the class of 2020 students. Welcome to the College of Dentistry 2018 White Coat Ceremony. I'm Dr. Doug Brothwell. I'm the Dean of the Dental School. I think I still get to say new Dean of the Dental School, and a proud alumni, graduated in 1984. It gives me great pleasure to lead this White Coat Ceremony, my first, and to say a few words about why it is that this is an important step in the development of a dental professional. Okay. So first, to the class of 2020. A year and a half ago, okay, you were handpicked from a wide assortment of people who wanted to get in to be dentists. Okay. We were careful to pick the cream of the crop, and you have now proven that you have the knowledge, the skills and the attitudes necessary to move forward to the next step. That's what this ceremony is about. It's a transition from lab to clinic and from mannequin to patient. Now, it doesn't occur solely today. For those in the audience who think there's a toggle switch, there isn't. The really big change starts at the beginning of third year, where it becomes clinic every day. But at the second term of second year, the clinic starts and the responsibilities for clinic start. So why a white coat ceremony? Well, we have a bunch of dignitaries who have given us their time to come and talk about those things, and I will welcome them to do that and invite them up shortly. But before doing that, I'd like to just speak to it shortly myself. I have two messages that I'd like to bring forward. The first is congratulations. And of course, this class thinks that the congratulations is to them, but actually in my mind it's not. It's to the parents and the families and the friends and everybody else who has been part of the support network for these students. I'm certain all of you have heard about how difficult the study of dentistry is. It's a big challenge, and like many other things, it takes a community to raise a dentist. So I thank you for your time in doing that. But I will also then put out a personal request. This is the ceremonial transition to the clinical component of dentistry for these students. That transition is also a difficult one. Okay, so there is a lot more work to be done, and they are going to need the continued support of family and friends. Okay, so a personal request for me, continue doing whatever it is that you've been doing. So thank you. My second message, okay? I'd like to formally invite the class of 2020 to sit right now and think very seriously about whether or not you're prepared to complete this white coat ceremony and the resultant required pledge to the professional code of conduct that is needed at the transition from lab to clinic, okay, when you start patient care. It's a transition that every dentist in Canada has had to make. It's similar to what they do in medicine and historically with the Hippocratic Oath. Once you take this pledge, okay, there's no going back. Okay? It is truly a lifelong commitment. It's not a rite of passage. Okay? It's not something you have to do because if you don't, you won't get through dental school. Please don't see it that way. You each have your ceremonial booklet. On the first page is the professional code of conduct. Make sure that you know what's in there, and when you recite it today and take that pledge, make sure that you know what it is that you're committing to. Okay? So through a mix of hard work and ability, you've got yourself to this transition right now. I probably don't have to tell you that it doesn't end now. The hard work continues. Continuing to pay your tuition fees does not earn you the right to be a dentist. It earns you the right to earn your way to be a dentist. So that will stay the same. But upon graduation, you're going to join a very proud and strong dental profession. And as a result, you're going to have the many life advantages that are enjoyed by dental professionals. Right? I'll just list a few of them. So the affluence that comes with being a professional, the prestige and the social privilege, okay? The right to have people call you doctor for the rest of your life. And probably most importantly, the opportunity to make an impact in other people's lives, in the lives of your patients, okay? And to truly make their lives better because of what you're able to do. Okay? So these life advantages come at a cost, okay? From here forward, you're going to be held to a different standard than what other people in society are. So the friends and peers that you've worked with in the past can do things that you're no longer allowed to do. And that is part of today's commitment, is acknowledging that you know that and that you're willing to take that pledge. Okay? So the new level of responsibility is not for everybody, but it is required by society, it's required by your profession, and it is required by the dental school. Okay? But don't take it lightly. Do it if you agree that this is what you want to do with the rest of your life. Because after that, we are going to hold it to you within the school, and Dr. White will hold you to it after you graduate. Okay? Your profession will give you a lifelong advantage, but it will require lifelong commitment. Okay? So congratulations again on making it to year 2, term 2, the dividing line between the preclinic and the clinic, or at least the ceremonial dividing line, and to the next stage in your clinical development. So with that, we have a number of dignitaries who have graciously volunteered their time to come and speak to you at this important day. I'm just going to start with a few introductions. First of all, in the front, my boss, Dr. Tony Vannelli, the Provost and Vice President Academic for the university, Dr. Vannelli. The Honorable Herb Cox, the Minister of Advanced Education. Ms. Colleen Young, the MLA for Lloydminster. Mr. Eric Olenson, the MLA for Saskatoon University. Mr. David Buckingham, the MLA for Saskatoon Westview. Dr. Luke Creole, President of the College of Dental Surgeons of Saskatchewan. Our guest speaker tonight, Dr. Garnet Dakota, class of 1978 and keynote speaker today. Dr. Ken Sutherland, former Associate Dean for the College of Dentistry. And Dr. Jerry Uswak, Acting Clinic Director for the College. We have a second row with some dignitaries as well. Dr. Preston Smith, Dean for the College of Medicine. And a long line of esteemed dentists, one of which was a classmate of mine. Hi, Mitch. Good to see you. The College of Dental Surgeons of Saskatchewan's Council. So these are the people that run organized dentistry for the province. I'm not going to acknowledge everybody individually, but as a group, if you'd please stand. College of Dental Surgeons of Saskatchewan College. Okay. Our first message that we will invite is Dr. Luke Creole, President for CDSS, and delivering a message from the College of Dental Surgeons of Saskatchewan. Dr. Creole.
Good afternoon, faculty, parents, guests, and students. I'm honored to represent the College of Dental Surgeons of Saskatchewan in congratulating the class of 2020. The University of Saskatchewan College of Dentistry has an exceptional dental program with world-class dedicated faculty. The white coat ceremony today symbolizes your promise to commit to and uphold the code of the professional conduct of the College of Dentistry. Ethics and professionalism is the foundation upon which the profession of dentistry is built. In dental school, high ethical standards are of great importance, starting at the times of one's acceptance into dentistry. Ethical and professional behavior by a dental student is characterized by honesty, respect, and integrity at all times in the classroom and clinical setting towards patients, fellow students, and faculty. All students need to take responsibility with regard to their behavior in public and on social media. As a dental student and future dentist, you hold a special position of trust within the community. You are held to a higher ethical and moral standard than the average person. Patients who seek care place their trust and well-being in you. Your first and utmost responsibility is to your patients. Be kind to your patients, communicate with them, and be compassionate. Always do treatment that is best for your patient. Do your part to build a trusting relationship with your patient. Effective communication helps patients make informed decisions while also building a sense of trust and value. All of you aspire to have a successful career. Success will come from your passion and motivation to do your job to the best of your ability every day. Keep educating yourself, never stop learning, but learn from your mistakes and the mistakes of others. I encourage you to be passionate about what you do and how you do it. Don't just become a dentist, but strive to become the most outstanding dentist you can be. Class of 2020, remember your promise today to uphold the spirit and letter of the code and commit to honor it every day. Thank you.
Another unusual part of today's ceremony is introducing the speaker after having asked her to come up and speak. So Dr. Luke Creole was born and raised in South Africa and graduated from the University of Pretoria School of Dentistry in 1988. She immigrated to Canada in 1997 and has been practicing in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan ever since. Dr. Creole is a fellow of the International College of Dentists and has been on council at the College of Dental Surgeons since 2008. She's the chair of the Practice Enhancement Review Committee and Quality Assurance Committees. Dr. Creole is also currently the president for CDSS. She lives in Prince Albert with her husband, Glenn Wozniak, and has a daughter, Nicole, as well as 4 stepchildren, Nikki, Cody, Courtney, and Keaton. Sorry for introducing you afterwards, Dr. Creole. Thank you. Now, just to make a little amends, Dr. Creole, so I spent a bit of time in South Africa doing some dentistry, so I got to spend quite a bit of time at Baragwanath Hospital. So did you get to do some dentistry in Baragwanath Hospital as part of your training? You know Barra? Yeah. Anyway, quite the hospital. I remember the where we have an oral surgery ward in University Hospital here. They had an oral surgery street in Baragwanath, and it was lined up with buildings all the way along. So my apologies for that. Our second speaker, Dr. Tony Vannelli, Provost and Vice President Academic at the University of Saskatchewan, will deliver some greetings on behalf of the university, but please allow me to introduce you ahead of time. Dr. Vannelli is, with more letters than I've seen after anybody's name, is currently the Provost and Vice President Academic at the University of Saskatchewan. He is a professor in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering in the College of Engineering, and he has held academic administrative appointments, including the Dean of the College of Physical Science at the University of Guelph, 2007 to 2016. Associate Dean for Research and External Partnerships with the University of Waterloo from 2004 to 2006, and Chair of Electrical and Computer Engineering at the University of Waterloo from 1998 to 2004. Working with the university community and leadership, Dr. Vannelli focuses on strengthening and enhancing the academic programs here at the University of Saskatchewan to maintain a strong student and faculty experience. In 2016, his lifetime work led to his appointment as a Fellow of the Academy of Canadian Engineering, and his active research program focuses on interdisciplinary areas that use mathematical optimization with applications to large-scale manufacturing and circuit layout problems in electronics. Am I ever glad I'm a dentist? Dr. Vannelli.
Well, welcome everyone, and first and foremost, I'm going to give I don't have a prepared speech, so it's going to come from somewhere else, and hopefully it'll land in a good spot. I usually find those kinds of speeches are better, at least for me. Doug, thank you very much for doing this. And first, welcome to the future graduates of 2020. This isn't far away. And as an engineer, and I also want to welcome and congratulate the parents. I know you're all proud faculty and friends that are here for the students, so this is great. Also, Minister Cox and the other local MLAs, thank you again for being here, and the faculty and the dental surgeons again for doing this training. Thank you. I want to echo really what was said here. As an engineer, there's similar pledges we take, including ending up with an iron ring at the end, which is usually from a failed structure that actually reminds us why we do what we do. A failed structure is one thing, but being dentists and in the health sciences, that's a different profession, and there's different accountability and responsibility that we have. We're very proud here at the University of Saskatchewan, and with the support of our government and community and this great province, for what we achieve here and a lot of the professional training which we have in the health sciences. And we thank everyone for the support that is there. And on behalf of the university, along with your dean in the College of Dentistry, we're committed to your excellence and success and for the future that you will be taking on in the next few years. I want to just add something that I learned very long ago. It was an interesting interview that I heard, and I don't know if any of you know the singer-songwriter Bill Withers, who wrote songs like Just the Two of Us and others. I'm not going to sing, so don't worry. But Bill Withers was interviewed many years ago, and he made an interesting statement about what you're going through. He said in life he had found that life is really a composite of where you've been and the people that you meet. And this is very much true in a profession like dentistry. You've come from the training that you're getting right now, from the parents and other educational aspects that you've had that have been really enhanced you and have brought you into this position. But it is a journey that's going to be layered over the many years to come. And as Dean Brothwell as mentioned, it is a sacred vow in many ways that you take because of the responsibility that you do have going forward in the training that you're seeing and the impact you will have on the people you will be literally, their lives and the people that you will be affecting over the years to come. And that's very, very important to note. The journey where you're going to end up is going to be interesting. The educational journey is well defined, as you know, what you're entering into with the clinical stage of your training right now. It's going to be very intensive, but I know, and as the college believes, you're going to be successful at that. But think to the next step. Think of why you are here, why you came here, and why you continue to be here for the future and in that journey. Make it a joyous one. Make it one where you work hard and are committed to it, because it will lead to the success, not only of yourself, but the success of the profession that we hold near and dear to our hearts. So I wish you much success, and don't be strangers after you graduate. We hope to see you back here for many, many years. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Minister Herb Cox, Minister of Advanced Education, delivering greetings on behalf of the Government of Saskatchewan. And I'll introduce Dr. Herb Cox as well. So, born in Brandon, Manitoba, Herb graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics from Brandon University. After graduation, he moved to Saskatchewan, and while employed with a financial institute, works in Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Lloydminster, Swift Current, and North Battleford. Prior to entering politics, Herb was a realtor in North Battleford, where he served with a number of organizations, 3 terms as president of the Battleford's Real Estate Board, 4 years as the president of the Saskatchewan Team Penning Association, and 2 years as the president of the Canadian Team Penning Association. Herb was also a member of the Town of Battleford's Industrial Planning Committee and served as sports chairman with the Zone 7 Winter Games. He was first elected to Saskatchewan legislature in 2011 and was re-elected in 2016 in the provincial election. Herb has served Saskatchewan as the government whip and as a member of the Public Accounts Committee. He was also Minister of the Environment, Minister responsible for Saskatchewan Water Security Agency, and is currently a member of the Caucus Management Committee and the Standing Committee on Public Accounts. Herb and his wife Linda are proud of their 3 children, a welder, a chartered accountant, and a pilot, and all are living and working in Saskatchewan. Minister Cox.
Well, Doug, thank you for that kind introduction. Appreciate that very much. And good afternoon, everyone. It is certainly a pleasure for me to be here today. And I would just like to acknowledge our dignitaries down here in the front row with me. Dr. Tony Vannelli, it's good to see you again, sir. I've met you very recently. Dr. Luke Creole, it was great to hear your address here this afternoon, the president of the College of Dental Surgeons. And Dr. Preston Smith, I just had the privilege of meeting you today, sir. I would like to also acknowledge 3 of my colleagues that are here today. Colleen Young, of course, who is a very proud mom here today. Right, Duke? And thank you for coming down from Lloydminster to join us. Eric Lawson, the MLA from Saskatoon University right here, and also David Buckingham, who represents the good citizens of Saskatoon Westview. So thank you for coming. It's certainly my pleasure to be here today on behalf of Premier Wall and the Government of Saskatchewan. And it's wonderful to be at the University of Saskatchewan here again. And I'd like to begin, I guess, today by just wishing everyone a very happy new year and all the best for a great 2018. But also, and most importantly, congratulations to this very illustrious group here today and to all of you in the class of 2020. It's exciting for me to be here today. This is my first white coat ceremony as a fairly recently minted Minister of Advanced Education, as Doug alluded to. So it's my almost like a double thrill to me to be here today in this beautiful room and acknowledge your accomplishments today. But it's fitting today, near the start of a new year, that you mark a milestone in your academic journey and ultimately in your career. You're moving from the classroom, from the clinic, into your clinical studies. And you should also be very proud of what you've achieved so far. We are very proud of the College of Dentistry here at the University of Saskatchewan because it is an excellent place to forge your career. It's regarded across Canada as a leader in dentistry education with a growing research portfolio. The college has been founded on the principles of professionalism, ethical integrity, service to society, and respect for patients. And if I could just digress a little bit from my notes here and just share with you something that I heard many, many years ago. We all go to personal improvement days and seminars and lectures, and I'm sure you're going to do that. Some of you probably already have, and you may do that in your career. And at each one of those professional developments that you go to, you always, I think, take home at least one thing that's going to stick with you. And something that stuck with me, and I've said this in the ledge, my colleagues probably are tired of hearing this again, but one of the things that I learned back then, that service is the rent you pay for the space you occupy. And whether it's in your chair here at the university or whether it's in your chair later in life, continue to provide that service. Service to your patients, of course, firstly, service to your community, and service to your profession, as witnessed by the council that's here today. Be involved in your profession, as I was in my real estate profession, or previously. And I think if we all sort of live by that old adage, the whole world is going to be a better place. And so just take that home with you. Service is the rent you pay for the space you occupy. And I recognize that the white coats that you receive here today signify your commitment to these principles and others. And I'm certainly confident that each of you will provide that compassionate, quality care to your patients. And I encourage every one of you, certainly, to stay right here in the province of Saskatchewan. So I would just say in closing, once again, on behalf of Premier Wall and a very appreciative Saskatchewan government, congratulations on this exciting transition, and I wish you all a safe, prosperous 2018, and all the best to you as you continue in your studies and in your careers. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Garnet Dakota, class of 1978. To introduce Dr. Dakota, a colleague of mine for many, many years, by the way. So Dr. Dakota was born in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, where he lived and went to school in Norquay and in Birch Hills, Saskatchewan. That's where my son-in-law is from. He graduated with his dental degree from the University of Saskatchewan, 1978, as I said. And after graduating, he practiced general dentistry in Lloydminster in Alberta, Lloydminster, Alberta, and in Toronto and Richmond Hill, Ontario. He completed his specialty training in oral and maxillofacial radiology at the University of Toronto in 1985 and received his master's from the University of Toronto in 1986. He joined the College of Dentistry here in Saskatchewan in 1985 and has taught every dental student how to read radiographs ever since that time, and now nearly 800 U of S dental students who have graduated having been taught the radiology by Dr. Dakota. So quite a noteworthy contribution. He has practiced part-time oral and maxillofacial radiology at the College of Dentistry since 1985 as well, so he provides a clinical service as well as his teaching. Dr. Dakota served 2 terms as the Chief Examiner for the Specialty of Oral Radiology for the College of Dental Surgeons of Canada, and has served on the Executive Committee of the Royal College for 8 years, including 2 years as President. He's also served on the executive and as president of the Canadian Academy of Oral and Maxillofacial Radiology. So absolutely a national leader in his area. He has worked with or participated in the activities of many other dental organizations in Canada as well, including the College of Dental Surgeons of Saskatchewan, the Alberta Dental Association and College, and the Association of Canadian Faculties of Dentistry, the Commission on Dental Accreditation in Canada, and the National Dental Examining Board in Canada. Not much that he hasn't done to move his profession forward. Dr. Dakota, welcome.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Dean Rothwell. Good afternoon, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, and of course, the class of 2020. I'm honored to be your keynote speaker today. When I was first asked to do this, one thing became abundantly clear. My gosh, they're running out of choices. So I'm really not sure who is left to ask for next year, but maybe someone else will announce they're retiring. I guess part of the reason I was asked is that I've been around for a while, not quite as long as Dr. Sutherland, of course, and Dr. Sutherland and I get along quite well because we both know where each other's bodies are buried, so to speak. I guess I've made it to this point because of the love and support of my wife, Susan, and my 3 daughters, and my parents, and the support of my friends and colleagues. I thank them profusely, and I hope all of you can experience some of what I have been fortunate enough to have. The other reason I was probably asked is I'm used to talking to groups of people, but when I talk to groups of people, it's usually in the dark, and usually at least 25% of them are asleep. So this is a nice change. Like Dean Rothwell did, and others, I would like to acknowledge the parents, family members, spouses, partners, and friends of the students of the class of 2020 who are here today. All of you are very important to the College of Dentistry because you have all played important roles in getting this terrific group of people to this point in their careers. Because of the distance and weather and other factors, there may be some people who could not be here with us today. And if there are any second-year students who, for those reasons, do not have a large number of family or friends here today, just consider me your surrogate parent or uncle for the afternoon. I would like now to I asked Ashley if she was going to do anything like this, and she said no, so I'm going to do it now. I'd like to, first of all, before we proceed, I'd like to ask the members of the class of 2020 to rise, turn, face the audience, and give a round of applause to those people who have helped you get to this point. Thank you so much. Now, a group of people like the class of 2020 certainly gets one excited about coming to work. Like all of our students in general, this group is hardworking, committed, composed of truly nice people, and will provide leadership in our profession and their communities after they graduate. Now, I will now state that during the rest of this address, I will be using quotations from lyrics of various songs. I apologize that these may be songs that our students have never heard of, but their parents might have. So class of 2020, graduation is still a bit of ways away, a little over 2 years ago, but right now you are on the verge of beginning the next and very important stage of your training. You will actually be working on, very soon, and with real patients. Now, you've experienced various challenges in your preclinical work so far, getting the correct depth of the preparation, obtaining the proper angulation of the crown prep, making a successful PSV impression, hopefully in fewer than 5 attempts, making a serviceable temporary crown, etc., making a bite wing radiograph that doesn't have any interproximal overlap. Now, if you feel you've been challenged up till now, just remember what Bachman-Turner Overdrive sang in 1974, "Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet." So all of the procedures you have learned so far have, of course, been done on inanimate mannequins, dentiform teeth, or extracted teeth. Now, in addition to the challenges of mastering those various technical procedures, you will also begin to discover new bits of information as you gain more clinical experience. Let me tell you about some of them. Unlike mannequins, living individuals may experience pain and discomfort, and to varying degrees are nervous to be in your chair. You will have to competently place a rubber dam and prepare and restore the tooth before the local anesthesia wears off. On occasion, as you begin the tooth prep, your burr will penetrate the tooth structure, and the reaction of your patient will demonstrate that the freezing is not working. Start again. Pediatric patients, i.e. kids, sometimes find it impossible to remain still for a microsecond. Intraoral soft tissue lesions will never look anything at all like the examples in the textbooks. All the radiographs that you make, none of them will have arrows or labels telling you what you're looking at. Gag reflexes will often be the worst when the clinical procedure you are trying to perform is the most difficult. Tongues get in the way of what you're trying to see or do. The pulp is always closer than you think. Gingiva and other intraoral tissues and the pulp sometimes bleed. The patient may keep telling you that the tooth that you treated is still sore, and nothing you seem to do makes it better. Well, you got a lot to look forward to. But what will make this worthwhile are the times when your patient expresses gratitude and appreciation for what you have done to get them out of pain or to help get their mouth and dentition into a state that is comfortable, functional, and aesthetic. That is truly something great to look forward to. Now, challenges lie ahead, but don't be afraid of them. Embrace them. After all, one needs to face and deal with all sorts of challenges to get through life. Now, is it going to be worthwhile? Is it going to be worthwhile to get through dental school and get your degree? You bet it will. But remember, like Bruce Cockburn sang in 1984, nothing worth having comes without some kind of fight. Now, perhaps fight is not quite the right word. Maybe struggle or effort is a better word. But regardless, many of the worthwhile things in this life require some degree of hard work and effort. Now, if you sometimes feel your professors or instructors are being hard on you, remember, it's because we want you to be as good as you can be for the sake of your patients, yourselves, and the profession. Good enough is rarely good enough. Now, last year, Canada lost one of my favorites, respected musician, poet, and activist, Mr. Gord Downie of the band The Tragically Hip. And you may remember in their 1996 song, Ahead by a Century, he sang, "No dress rehearsal, this is our life." Dental school is not a dress rehearsal for the dental profession. It is part of the real world of the dental profession. And you are part of that profession as student members. And remember, for our patients, it's never a dress rehearsal, regardless of who's working on them or where they're getting their treatment done. So if you're of the mindset that, hey, I just need to get through the next couple of years of dental school and get into practice and life will be great, please change your thinking. Life is great now. I envy you because you have wonderful friendships and relationships with your classmates and student colleagues that you're continuing to foster. You're acquiring new skills and knowledge, and you will develop and utilize innovations far beyond what my generation could ever envision. When you think about it, the only days that we are guaranteed are the ones we have lived and the one we're living in. So maintain the best relationship you can with the people who mean the most to you, and always find something positive each day to grasp onto and remember. It may be difficult sometimes, but I think that's the key to getting through life. Well, I've probably gone on long enough, but just hang on. The Beatles sang in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We're getting very near the end, and indeed we are. We do have a program to finish and reception to get to afterwards, but let's go back to 1976 when the Beatles sang, not the Beatles, the Eagles sang, "You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave." I love that lyric. Now, what the heck does it mean? I haven't the slightest idea, but it was the 70s. But as a member of the dental profession, and this will touch on some of the things that have already been said to you, but as a member of the dental profession, and you are student members of the College of Dental Surgeons, you can't simply check out when you feel like it. You will be a dentist at the clinic or at the office, but you will also be a dentist at the grocery store or at any social event or any other function that you attend. Society and the profession expects a certain level of professional, legal, ethical, and moral standards. Dentistry is described as a self-regulated profession. Its own members set the standards of practice, and deviating from those will result in the loss of the trust and respect of the public, i.e. our patients. But also, don't be too hard on yourselves. Back in 1986, the Human League sung, "I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made, human, born to make mistakes." And trust me, the mistakes I've made could easily fill a textbook, 2 or 3 volumes maybe. In the future, your colleagues and your patients may very well consider you an expert. But one characteristic, I believe, of an expert is that he or she has made mistakes, but they have done their utmost not to repeat any of them. So thanks again for the honor of being your keynote speaker. To the members of the class of 2020, I extend my sincerest congratulations to you for reaching this milestone, and I will close with a quote from one of our former deans, Dr. Ernie Ambrose, who always used to say, "Onward and upward, and never downward." Thank you very much.
Not only was the invitation not because of the last man standing, obviously it was the invitation to be the keynote speaker was for a very good reason, and I see an invitation coming again next year, Garnet, after that. Amazing, so thank you very much. Next speaker, Ms. Ashley Halstead, the Year 2 class representative. Bio. Ashley was born in Edmonton, Alberta, and raised in her hometown of Regina, Saskatchewan. She graduated from Balfour Collegiate High School in 2011 and continued her education at the University of Regina after that. In 2016, she convocated with a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry degree with distinction, and before being accepted into dentistry. Ashley's hobbies include baking, crafting, sewing, snowboarding, playing, and watching hockey. I assume those two go together. There was a comma in between, though. In her spare time, she enjoys traveling and spending time with her family and friends. She wants to thank her fellow classmates for being a wonderful family to work with and to rely on through dental school, and would like to thank her parents, Sandy and Ward, her brother Austin, and her boyfriend Jesse, her grandparents, and her amazing friends for their continued love, support, and encouragement through her life and during her studies. Honorable mention include Ashley's grandfather, Robert, who wasn't able to be here today. Ashley.
Thank you, Dr. Brothwell, for that introduction. Good day, faculty, staff, honored guests, friends, family, and colleagues. My name is Ashley Halstead, and I'm honored to be the representative to speak on behalf of the class of 2020 today. 1 year, 4 months, and 25 days ago, the class of 2020 were lonely first years, starting our first day of orientation. There were a few people who knew each other, but many, like myself, didn't know anyone. Now today, we are a large extended family here to celebrate a special milestone in our academic careers, our white coat ceremony. So congratulations, class of 2020. We've come a long way since our first day together. More importantly, congratulations to all the family and friends sitting in this room, because without your love, support, and encouragement to pursue our dreams to become a dentist, who knows where we would be today. In many regards, this is your white coat ceremony as well. Now, many in attendance may ask, what is the significance of the white coat ceremony? For myself and my classmates, it signifies a transition from preclinical sim clinic work with plastic teeth to working with patients on the clinic floor. The ceremony itself is a long-standing college tradition, and receiving the white coat signifies all of our new responsibilities and professionalism standards that we need to achieve. The journey to this white coat ceremony has been a long, difficult, and detoured one, full of late nights studying for 10% med exams, which everyone has to overanalyze since we're all type A students. The joys of spending 14 long hours in the dry lab, working on a wax-up to only get a 65. Recently, my classmates and I are working on a temporary bridge for our fixed class. And let me tell you, there's nothing like working for 9+ hours on your bridge to have it break when you're polishing it for the final time. That is just perfect. It's challenges like these that define our journey to becoming dentists, because secretly we love the struggle and our time in this program. Some of us love dental school so much that we'll even go through it twice. Nowsly. These challenges that test us every day are made so much better by these 27 other students in these seats in front of me. Not to mention the amazing professors who will answer every one of our questions, open the lab for us, and take time out of their day to show us how to set denture teeth for the 3rd, 4th, or even 5th time, because sometimes they just keep moving on us. On the first day of orientation, 512 days ago, our class recited in unison a code of professional conduct after receiving an introductory white coat. We recited words on a page whose meanings and value could not be fully comprehended. Today, the power and importance of the code of conduct has resonated with me, and its significance has grown and will continue to grow as we move into our clinical studies. To me, the quote, "I will maintain high standards of ethical behavior and conduct myself in a manner befitting of my profession at all times," is the essence of the white coat and why we are here today. So again, congratulations to the class of 2020 on our important achievement. We have come a long way, and I'm excited to see where the rest of this journey will take us. Thank you.
Thank you, dignitaries, for your kind words for our class of 2020. We will move now into the white coat ceremony itself. So I will call up Dr. Ken Sutherland. I see he's already here. A couple of quick words of introduction for Dr. Sutherland. Ken was my personal favorite professor when I was in dental school. He was the most help and the most support in the dental school at that time, and since that time he and I became colleagues when we were both academic deans and met nationally and worked on what can we do for all of the dental schools in Canada. He is a great leader in our profession, and we are lucky to have him here in the University of Saskatchewan. He continues on and is just as enthusiastic as he's ever been. Dr. Sutherland.
Fixed prosthodontics rules. No, Marine, really, rules. Good afternoon, dignitaries, honored guests, students, faculty, staff, families, and friends. Delighted to see so many of you today at today's white coat ceremony. Even the weather has moderated, in deference to this much anticipated event. Please turn off your phones, or I won't be able to hear mine ring. I just gave a 2-hour lecture in fixed prosthodontics to this class, the year 2 class this morning, and now this afternoon, another 2-hour lecture. Talk about bad luck. In the interest of full disclosure, I must admit to having a sense of humor. It's a family tradition. Being able to laugh at life and yourself is useful when you're under duress. And our profession is no stranger to duress. So if you're inclined to feel free, so inclined, feel free to be amused by the brutality of the homemade wine I'm about to serve. Yesterday I stopped by this grand old hall in preparation for today. Suddenly inspired, I sat down and penned a rhyme that has every possibility of becoming a white coat disaster. With sincere apologies to Clement Moore, it begins. 'Twas the night before white coat, the evening so dusky, not a creature was stirring, not even a husky. The code of professional conduct was hung by the windows with care, in hopes that the provost soon would be there. Our hopes have been fulfilled. The students were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of ethics danced in their heads. When out on the bowl there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my chair to see what was the matter. The computer kept changing this to see what the matter was. But I persisted. When what to my wondering eyes and to those of Jerry's appeared a sleighful of dignitaries. With a driver so lively holding a sack and a bell, I knew in a trice it was Douglas Brothwell. The twinkle in his eye and the twist of his head soon gave me to know there would be nothing left unsaid. Now students, now faculties, now friends, and now guests, on faculty, on deans, and all of the rest. With morals and honesty at foremost behest, let's see how the class of 2020 handles the test. I could go on, but I already have. Thank you for your indulgence. Please note that copies will be available on Amazon immediately after the show. And let's refocus. I need to acknowledge a pair of outstanding alumni. First, Dr. Sarah Enander, class of 2014, whose music and manner are both beautiful and moving. Without hesitation, in spite of her busy life and commitments, she agreed to come all the way from Quebec City when I asked her last July to perform for us, make that June. But mea culpa, it's on me. Last summer, I told her the ceremony was on January 12th, not January 5th. This feels like a political moment. She made arrangements to be here on the 12th, only to discover my error yesterday when it was too late to book a new flight because of the unusual weather bomb in the east. Talk about embarrassing. I sat at my desk going, boy, this is not good. It's one thing to be able to make a mistake and be able to fix it. It's quite another to make a mistake and have no shot at fixing it. So, Sarah, I sincerely apologize to you and to the rest of the people here. No ands, no ifs, no buts. I will wear this mistake until you perform here at this ceremony next year. And as much of a damper as this may put on today's ceremony, professionals have to carry on. Does that include me, Doug? Our keynote speaker is another alumni I would wish to acknowledge, Dr. Garnet Dakota, distinguished alumnus from the class of 1978. His nickname as a student was the Rookie. I don't know why, but I know from calling him the Rookie that it's not his favorite. In spite of his busy life and commitments, he came all the way across campus to be with us today. Imagine how much funnier that would have been if Sarah were here. Susan Dakota, are you here? Don't see her. Anyway, thank you, Garney. He's not real fond of Garney either. Historic Convocation Hall, conceived in 1909 as the focal building of the new University of Saskatchewan campus, opened in the fall of 1912. And no, Jerry, I was not on campus then. It's an appropriate site for the white coat ceremony, which in its own unique way is historic. Personal accomplishment is rewarding, but sharing with those closest to you is the ultimate. Today's speakers have done an admirable job of discussing the rationale and benefits of ethics. I guess good-looking ethics. But I have a mic and an audience in front of me, and I share the sentiment of my dental assistant, Elise, who routinely says, everyone is entitled to my opinion. Ethics must be taught by example and learned by applying principles. Our parents are our first and our enduring teachers. These principles form the cornerstone of our profession. The privilege to manage our patients' oral health care is a sacred trust. Today's affirmation of commitment to our patients and profession is not about how we behave only when we're in the spotlight. It's about how we behave when no one is watching. It's not about being perfect. It's about being accountable. A lie is a lie, even if everyone believes it. And the truth is the truth, even if no one believes it. My father, Alex, who is my mentor and my friend, offered me many pearls of wisdom over the years, many of which cannot be repeated in this austere location. The following Alexism is not only repeatable, it is wise. Son, you will never regret being kind. You will never regret being honest. And you will never regret being true to yourself, no matter what. When I first heard these words years and years ago, I had no idea how prophetic and influential they would become. They are as simple and profound a definition of ethics as I have come across. The prevalence of social media and artificial intelligence make the expectation of privacy no longer realistic. Just as embarrassing posting can go viral and become consequential, a breach of ethics can reverberate throughout a lifetime. And ethics has to be a way of life, the archway through which all other behaviors must pass to be deemed professional. Add the mental and physical obligations of a dental career, and it can be almost unbearable at times. You don't have to ask the second-year students, you can ask any year. But dentistry can't be just something you want to do, it has to be your passion. The lyrics of Flashdance, take your passion and make it happen. And your passion must bring you great joy. Joy, which happens to be the name of my mother. Another thing my dad often said was, call your mother. According to Tennyson, we must be strong in human will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Yes, it's a lot to ask, but embracing this obligation is the requirement that sustains the privilege. As if that's not enough, there's more, because ethics alone is not sufficient. Professionals must also be empathetic. Payan Akavan, McGill Law Professor and 2017 CBC Massey Lecturer, said, "What moves us to serve humanity, to achieve meaningful change, is genuine empathy. Empathy to feel the pain of others, to experience the intimate shared humanity, and to accept discomfort and sacrifice in a path of greater cause." And on that note, we end our seriosity. It's time to lighten things up a bit and talk about segueing into some recent, compelling, relevant and interesting research topics and presentations. Last January, I mentioned the 21,000-mile walking journey of Paul Salopek, a renowned National Geographic reporter, who is now in the middle of a 7-year-long walk. That's like 3 years of dental school and 4 years of dentistry. And some students will tell you that sometimes in dental school, they'd rather be on a 21,000-mile walk. He's retracing the steps of our human ancestors from Africa to South America, stopping every 100 miles to cover the major stories of our time, from climate change to cultural renewal, cultural survival, I should say, giving voice to people who inhabit it every day. His words and pictures are creating a global record of human life by real people who rarely make the news. He's convinced if we slow down and observe, we can rediscover the world. He began in Ethiopia in January of 2013, has now gone north through Turkey, Israel, much of what used to be USSR, and he's currently in northern Pakistan. 3.5 years in, he says, walking is falling forward. Each step we take is an arrested plunge, a collapse forward, a disaster break. In this way, a walk is an act of faith. I refer to his journey again today not only because it's Herculean, but because Type A individuals in this room, including the class of 2020, seldom take the opportunity to acknowledge their accomplishments. It is a good idea to slow down, at least occasionally, to reflect on who we are and where we are going in this journey we call life. If we don't pause to acknowledge how far we've come and we don't act ethically and compassionately along the way, what the hell is the point? Thousands of miles remain in the individual odysseys of the class of 2020 and their loved ones. Each day will become an act of faith. The next research I want to mention is 30 years of research by Suzanne Simard of UBC, who published an article called How and Why Trees Talk to Each Other. Stay tuned, I'll try and make it relevant. Her research has changed our perception of trees. Trees actually communicate their needs by a mutually beneficial underground network of filaments, fungal filaments, comparable to the neural networks of the human brain, warning other trees of environmental change and of nearby pests, and searching for related species, their friends, and transferring nutrients to other plants nearby before they die off. If trees are much more amazing than we thought. If they can take good care of each other, so can we. Knowing that trees can influence and can be influenced by other plants in the area doesn't make you wonder aloud what would happen if a few marijuana plants were to begin growing in the same forest. Can't you hear it now? Hey, welcome to the neighborhood, dude. Too far? Spoiler alert. Cannabis is going to be behind every tree in less than 6 months. Don't smoke the trees. The third study I'm going to mention included 1.3 million adults in 30 different Canadian cities. Dan Krause and others from the University of New Brunswick showed an 8 to 12% decrease in the risk of mortality from all causes of death for those living near green spaces or doggy parks. Who knew? Nearby greenery increases longevity. So how are these 3 projects relevant and related, do you ask? Here is my flawed conclusion. If you walk slowly and deliberately over to the University Club following today's ceremony and pause along the way to mingle with and hug a few trees, best evidence indicates that you may well increases your chances of being ethical. At worst, it couldn't hurt. But be wary. There may be some marijuana in those trees. Thank you for sharing my sense of humor. Speaking of walking in trees, it's now time for the class of 2020, the first class in the history of the college with optimal vision. Who will be donning their symbolic white coats. Would the first 2 rows please line up over here on your right? Our tradition is to have senior students assist the sophomore class in the coating ceremony. In so doing, they welcome them just as they were welcomed 2 years ago, and they reinforce the importance of this tradition to students, to the college, and to the profession. The students, Year 2 students, will now come forward, introduce themselves and their fourth-year coder.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nazli Abtahi. I'm from Shiraz, Iran, and my fourth-year cloaker is Jared Anderson.
Hello, my name is Lisa Bashu. I'm born and raised in Saskatoon here, and I'd like to introduce my fourth-year cloaker, Austin Andrews.
Hello, I'm Alexander Boyko. I'm from Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine, and I would like to introduce my coder, Mackenzie Vital.
Hi, my name is Daniel DeYoung. I'm from Grand Prairie, Alberta, and I'd like to introduce my cloaker, Archon Bendary.
My name is Jacob Drake, and I'm from Calgary, Alberta, and I'd like to introduce my fourth-year cloaker, Genevieve Braganza-Kanai.
My name is Jessa Drury. I'm from Maple Creek, Saskatchewan, and I would like to introduce my cloaker, Ryan Brzezinski.
Hi, my name is Brenna Glow. I'm from Saskatoon, and I'd like to introduce my cloaker, Clinton Chess.
I'm Wyatt Goldade. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I would like to introduce my cloaker, Yasser Daoud.
Hi, I'm Farah Gubran from Saskatoon, and I'd like to introduce my cloaker, Eileen Dieger.
Let the coating begin. Is it too high? Next 2 rows.
Hello again. My name is Ashley Halstead, and I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan. I would like to introduce you to my cloaker, Kanwar Duga.
Hello, my name's Justin Hennis. I'm from LaPorte, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to introduce my cloaker, Kyle Dyko.
Hello, my name is Kirsten Hooper, and I am from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I would like to introduce my cloaker, Brittany Gronowski.
Hello, my name is Jill Howlett. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to introduce you to my cloaker, Stacy Harasmick.
Hello, my name is Dylan Jekyll. I'm from Maple Creek, Saskatchewan. I'd like to introduce my fourth-year cloaker, Pat Juner.
Good afternoon, my name is Jason Lee, and I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia, and this is my fourth-year cloaker, Abe Kalegi.
Hi, my name is Shira Lutz. I'm from Saskatoon, and I'd like to introduce my cloaker, Troy Kirkpatrick.
Hi, my name is Zakria Muradi. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, and I would like to introduce my cloaker, Sammy Kowalko.
Hello, my name is Natasha Patel. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I would like to introduce my fourth-year cloaker, Brendan Kemper.
Year 2 students and coders, start your engines.
Hello, my name is Courtney Posehn. I'm from Wilmot, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to introduce my cloaker, Cody Lambert.
Hi, I'm Hamad Qasim. I'm from Saskatoon, and my cloaker is the lovely Desiree Leafers.
Hello, my name is Lisa Rumpel. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to introduce you to my fourth-year cloaker, Ted Liu.
Hello, my name is Donovan Shire. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to introduce you to my cloaker, Gessa Loga.
Hi, I'm Jory Simpson. I'm from Saskatoon, and this is my cloaker, Geneva Murphy.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Skalski. I'm from Humboldt, Saskatchewan, and I would like to introduce my cloaker, Jennifer Ching.
My name is Ryan Tenaik. I'm from Yorkton, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to introduce my fourth-year cloaker, Erica Sirois.
Hello, my name is Ryan Turple, and I'm from Saskatoon, and I would like to introduce my cloaker, Anita Sridhar.
Hi, my name is Kyla Chupa. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to introduce my cloaker, Marcus Wilson.
Hi there, my name is Duke Young. I'm from Lloydminster, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to introduce you to my cloaker, Justin Ian.
Hello, my name is Ken Sutherland. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to see the class of 2020 be coded. Our sincere thanks to Dean Doug Brothwell, Assistant Dean Jerry Uswak, and CDS President Luke Creole for their participation in the coding ceremony, and they will now resume their seats in the audience. I want to remind the parents and friends that there'll be plenty of time to take pictures when the ceremony is completed. And now we're going to move the class of 2020 to the front and center. Are we ready? Have you got your cheat notes? We will now repeat the Code of Professional Conduct in unison. Please repeat after me. I will uphold both the spirit and letter of this code. As a member of the dental community, I will practice personal and academic integrity. I will respect the rights and dignity of patients, students, faculty, support staff, and treat all persons with honesty, respect, fairness, and compassion.
I will respect the rights and dignity of patients, students, faculty, and support staff, and treat all persons with honesty, respect, fairness, and compassion.
I will not make disparaging remarks about students, faculty, support staff, or their work.
I will not make disparaging remarks about students, faculty, support staff, or their work.
I will place the well-being of patients ahead of personal advancement.
I will place the well-being of patients ahead of personal advancement.
I will set patient care as the highest priority in the clinical setting.
I will set patient care as the highest priority in the clinical setting.
I will maintain patient confidentiality and will limit discussion of patients to appropriate settings.
I will maintain patient confidentiality and will limit discussions of patients to appropriate settings.
I will maintain high standards of ethical behavior and conduct myself in a manner befitting my profession at all times.
I will maintain high standards of ethical behavior and conduct myself in a manner befitting my profession at all times.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Please acknowledge the class of 2020. Head down that way. I'm going to finish. I'll say thanks to Kelly. Okay. A special thank you to Kelly Mulligan, our Director of Academic and Student Services, who organized and planned every detail of today's ceremony, from the brochure to the seating plan. Please acknowledge Kelly Mulligan. And please acknowledge Marissa McCormick, Melissa Pardy, Muriel Miller, the Year 1 student volunteers, and the AV staff. And sincere thanks to the College of Dental Surgeons of Saskatchewan for providing the white coats. In conclusion, over the years, the white coat ceremony has quietly become more than the sum of its parts. As with any watershed moment, it will become more relevant to the participants with each passing year. Be kind, be honest, and be true to yourself no matter what. And let's give Clement Moore the final word. To the top of the steps toward University Hall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. He sprang from his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy white coat to all, and to all a good night." Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sutherland, for delivering that in a way that no one else can. I mean that in the best of ways. So thank you, everyone. That brings us to the close of tonight's ceremony. There is one last group or groups that I would like to thank. They're largely situated up in the balcony area. It takes an entire school to train dentists and to train the class of 2020 up to this point, and then from here forward to 2020. We have our faculty, our staff, we have some of our part-time staff, and we have students who are also here in support of the class of 2020. So thanks to all of you for your support, for your hard effort, and for making this one of the best dental schools in Canada. So thank you very much. So last thanks to our dignitaries for your kind words, to our cloakers for supporting your second-year classmates, and I would like to invite everybody to please join us at a reception over in the University Club. Those who don't know the way should follow those who do, except for the second-year students who you need to stay behind for a group photo. Now, apparently, the entire white coat ceremony is available on YouTube. I'm not going to read it off to you because nobody would remember it anyway, but you could email Kelly if anybody wants the address for that. So thank you very much for your participation. Congratulations, second years.